When it comes to lighting for worship and using LaserOS to add a laser to worship lighting, there are a couple places that I turn to make a really great worshipful experience. Okay, something to add to the lighting without a massive amount of cost. That's one of the things I love about lasers. And through LaserOS and the LaserCube and LaserDock devices, there are a few places that I go first when I'm working with worship lighting. The first thing I always want to do is I'm going to go and spend most of my time in the Beam Show folder when I'm working with worship lighting. Okay, most often when I'm thinking about using a laser for worship, we're not going to be projecting images or visualizers on a backdrop. As you can see, I mean, this looks cool, but it doesn't really fit the vibe that most worship sets are going for. However, the Beam Show is a different story. So if I turn off my laser that's projecting on that backdrop, you can really see the Beam Show well. And there's a couple things that I like to do to really follow the mood of the music, really match what's going on with the worship. So the first thing is I want to get a fader either via DMX, you can watch our DMX hacks video, or via MIDI to control the power of my lasers, either both of them together or individually. And the reason why I do that is because we can go in here, find the effect that we're looking for, visualize what it's going to look like in the preview window, and then bring up the power on the laser slowly, fade it in when we're ready for that moment. Okay, it's just like working with other visual media. Then as the music gets higher energy and we're using maybe a faster effect or something like that to add to the mood, we can also begin to work around with some of the color effects. The color effects are really great because you're able to modulate the color, follow what you're doing with the lighting. And when you bring up the volume here, it's going to react to your sound source. Okay, let me go with this one. It'll be a little easier to see. So it actually reacts with your sound source, okay? And then you can change the color. You can either do it manually using this hue knob to match your lighting, and or use the color effects, which are going to react to the music signal as it's getting that signal in, just like my voice is right now. The biggest thing I've found with worship lighting and with using lasers in a worship lighting context is you want to be subtle, right? You want to do the same kind of things you're doing with lighting. So you'll build the effect you desire, maybe save it into the playlists folder, bring down the intensity as you find that effect, and then when you're ready to bring it in, you simply bring up the intensity on one or more of your lasers as quickly or as slowly as you desire. Sometimes, just like changing a gobo in a moving light, you can go quickly. But most often, you'll probably turn off the intensity to your lasers, change your effect, and then smoothly bring up the effect for an interesting and different effect. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope it's helped you see how you can use lasers, and specifically the LaserCube and LaserOS, to add to your worship lighting without the cost of multiple moving lights.